Hi everybody, my name is Lizzie. You can find me on social media as Casual Moth Cosplay if you're new here, and today I'm starting my newest cosplay build, Perona from One Piece. This is Radio. She really likes it when I film YouTube videos. She almost always tries to join in. My friends and I are doing a big One Piece group for Indie PopCon at the end of June, and I thought it would be fun to take on the Ghost Princess Perona. Perona is a character that kind of falls into the wheelhouse of characters that I enjoy doing. A little bit goth, a little bit annoying.
Don't just stare!
Yes.
Ah, that's gross! I told you not to talk!
And I think I'll have a lot of fun with her. I've made this a little bit additionally challenging by giving myself a budget of $50. So my goal is to stay at or under $50 for this whole project. We'll see how close I'm able to get with that. I'm a little bit worried about the wig specifically. I think that might push me over budget, but no more, in an ideal world, no more than $50 will leave my bank account for this project. I want to show that you can do cool things on a pretty extreme budget with cosplay. For this Perona video, I'm going to be splitting it up into multiple parts for each piece that I make. So the shirt is going to be one video, accessories are probably going to be another, etc. Before we get into it, I do just want to say that I just hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm so excited because as small as that number may seem in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's a lot of people. So thank you so much to all 1,000 of you. If you're here and you're not subscribed, you might want to consider hitting the button and joining us. The party is only just starting. And if you leave a like, leave a comment, that also helps me out and tells me what you want to see from me in the future. To celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers, I do want to do some kind of frequently asked questions, getting to know me video, but I haven't had time to do that yet because I've been sick, which is also why this video is so late. I got sick at C2E2 and whatever I got, it wasn't COVID, I tested, knocked me out for basically 3 full weeks. Without further ado, let's get started on Perona. So I'm going to head to Goodwill to look for a couple of things. And the things that I'm looking for, one of them, I think I'll be able to find without a problem, a long sleeve white t-shirt, plain. That shouldn't be an issue. The other things that I'm looking for, I'm not super confident that I'm going to be able to find, but we'll find out. Here's hoping it's a successful and productive trip.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So, as I expected, I was only partially successful at Goodwill. Just to say, I found the thing I thought I was going to find, which is a long sleeve shirt that is white and also a crop top. This is actually from Brandy Melville, which I thought was really funny. Something about Perona and Brandy Melville seems appropriate to me. But then I stopped at the Walmart that's right across the street because I needed peanut butter. And lo and behold, I stopped in the sewing section on a whim, hoping I would find this. And they had red lace trim, which I need for the cuffs and the necklace, whatever. And they were 75 cents each. They were on clearance. I got 2. Okay, so I'm trying on the shirt. And as you can see, it is very tight, which, yikes. I mean, I guess that's to be expected because it's Brandy Melville, but I think it's gonna work fine for what I need. So I'm just gonna add red lace around the collar, 2 rows here, and then I will add a big cuff later. And then I think for the decal, I'm gonna make it a cutout in part so that maybe that will give me a little bit more room to breathe, but the shape is perfect.
To make the design, I started by just taking a gray permanent marker, pulling up a picture that someone had made that was like a close-up of the design, and with my webcam pulled up, I have a dual monitor setup. So the design was on one monitor and my video footage of myself was on the other, and I just sort of freehanded it in the reflection in my webcam. You'll notice I'm using a very, very faded gray marker here. In a second, I start going over it with a darker one. I ended up just going with the marker instead of making a cutout because I realized that this would prevent warping because I'm drawing it on myself, like as it's going to be stretched out when I'm wearing it. And I had a bunch of black Sharpies, so this was free.
Okay, the top is mostly done. Still need to do the bottom cuff, but I'm gonna do that once I get whatever material I use for the skirt and the cape. I will either use like the lining, or I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, but it's a bigger, the last one is like a bigger flounce. So I'm gonna do that there, but not bad. I sewed the top part in on the machine, and then I just hand sewed those bottom two. And then that was freehanded with Sharpie. And I'll heat set that later.
The next morning.
I read online that when you're trying to heat set permanent marker into fabric, you should dry iron over both sides of the design with a cloth in between your design and your iron. So that's what I did. Google also told me that I should wait overnight so that the ink has time to set fully before doing this.
And with that, Perona's bodice is finished. This was a 1.5 day, this was a 1-day project. I just needed to let the Sharpie dry overnight before I could heat set it. So I guess 1.5 day, but it took me 5 minutes, maybe tops, to iron. So really it's just a 1-day project. I'm really happy with how it turned out, especially considering the materials that I used. I don't know if I've ever had a Sharpie decal come out looking as smooth as this one does. And it's not perfectly symmetrical, but neither is hers because it's hand drawn in every frame. So especially with the cape, I think this will be fine. I'm really happy with how this turned out.
I always think it's really fun to make a set of press-ons that go with a costume if I can. So I just took some leftover nails that I had from a Christmas set and from a Halloween set and bedazzled them with things that I already had. So these were also free, but I think they came out really cute.
See ya.